As a community leader for over 35 years in Williamsburg, is that correct?
Almost 45.
Almost 45. What's with the crime wave going on right now in Williamsburg? Are you concerned yet that this is reaching a level like 25 years ago?
Oh, absolutely. And I spoke about it many, many times this week. It reminds me of the days when the gangs were around, the hell burners in the South Side and Rodney Street, and you were literally afraid to send out children on the streets. Forget about adults alone coming home at night and the winter nights at 6, 7 o'clock at night when it was already dark. And now you see them all out in the streets. So obviously the fear is there not only for your children, but the fear is there for your family members and yourself. There's no doubt about it. There has been a tremendous increase in crime. Maybe some people don't want to make it sound so scary because they say that you put fear into people's minds and it's not really that bad. But the reality is, talk to the victims and they'll tell you how bad it is. And they understand it. The recent attack happened, as I understand, last night, somewhere around 11:30. A person that I know very well since childhood, Oyzer Herman, who lives in the area, and basically two people, one a boy and one a girl, or one thug, and another was a woman that he was hanging out with, punched him in the face with an object. Hatzalah treated him on the scene, and a crowd gathered, some noise was made, and these two thugs took off.
And what's the police response?
Well, basically the police response is, has been, ever since de Blasio took office and took that liberal, dangerous position, and to put icing on the cake, blasting, criticizing, and knocking the cops, which is the worst thing you can do when they're the only line of defense between law-abiding citizens and the criminal element. It's basically, it's like a hands-off. If you don't have to be there, don't be there. If you don't have to take action, don't take action. The police department has now become like the fire department. They respond. They used to be a deterrent when they used to travel around. Now they respond. Fire department, you call in a fire, they respond. EMS responds. New York City Police Department was never that. They used to cruise the area. When they went by a street, you knew right away, if you're a criminal thug, better get out of that neighborhood. And when you saw a cop on the beat, now he comes and tells me that he's a hero, Mr. Mayor, for hiring 1,300 more cops that are going to play community. I don't know, Mr. Mayor, the way you have been talking, I think you hired 1,300 targets. And we don't need community cops. We already have community liaisons, clergy liaisons, community police precincts, whatever you want to call them. If they haven't gotten the message back to the precinct and the police department, why are they there? Who do they represent? Obviously not me, not the tenants in this building, not tenants in other buildings, where you can go on a July 4th weekend that you can see. Forget about the word quality of life. Quality of life you want to see, go into an ICU intensive care unit, maybe you'll see a quality of life. But there were illegal fireworks everywhere here in Brooklyn. There was no apprehension of people selling it, warehousing them, using them, right down the street, in the front, in the back, in Crown Heights, emails that I got, photos that I got.
Flatbush also,
and
Midwood.
Videos that I got from cell phones. It was like crazy. So the cops will come back and say, we were short-handed because we were dealing with the fireworks. That's fine and dandy. But you still got to cut down, and if these people see that they can accumulate all the illegal fireworks and do it till 1 o'clock in the morning, and nobody's going to stop them, what stops them from committing another illegal thing? So we got 3 different mayors. One mayor in the 1991 Crown Heights riot said, let them vent. One mayor, and a stupid mayor in San Francisco, who shouldn't be a garbage collector, after watching her city burn in Baltimore, gives out a message, given space to loot. I wouldn't hesitate to think that Mr. de Blasio maybe while not even being in town, most probably said to the cops, let them enjoy. And I think there should be a full investigation if that possibly happened. Because it's beyond belief, and I'd spoken to African Americans, to Latinos, people out of this neighborhood. They just can't believe the illegal fireworks that went on. It was a deafening silence from law enforcement, City Hall. We're going to crack down on illegal fireworks. We're going to go in there to the neighborhoods. Nothing, not a
People
word.
are telling me they didn't even see aviation. Usually aviation flies over. Did you see any aviation?
Nothing. There was, yeah, they can fly over, as long as they don't use a drone, they can fly over anything. It is not, but if you're going to use a laser,
the world
the world comes down. But if you're going to do illegal fireworks and throw them at innocent people and maybe hurt innocent people, put lives in jeopardy, that's when we are not available. We can't do nothing.
2 days ago, there was a Jewish teen walking on Avenue J and East 21st. He got stopped by 2 African American teenagers. They said they had a gun. They said, give us your money, and they pulled out a gun anyway. He didn't even resist. So you feel this is part of the trend also, just like you're saying, it's not just Williamsburg?
It's not the individual story on Avenue J or the individual bottle smashing in Williamsburg.
And it's been covered up, you don't hear about it?
It's not the individual paintball shooting. It's the message that comes out of the White House, that comes out of City Hall, that comes out of the mayor of San Francisco and Baltimore, etc., where words sometimes kill more people than bullets. And the criminal element, while they don't know who their politician is, they don't know who their clergy is, they do know one thing, and word gets around very quick. The cops are pulling back. In Baltimore, the cops are not responding in New York City. There's a hands-off policy. There's a low-level crime that you're not going to be arrested for, etc. Oh, graffiti attracts graffiti. And if you're going to commit one crime and get away with it, they're going to commit another crime, and then comes another crime, until it's going to lead a paintball shooting, might kill somebody, and something else might happen that's going to be more viciously. And what does the mayor do? Goes out of the city and goes somewhere to Iowa complaining he doesn't understand why the people in New York City don't like him. The reason why we don't like you is because out of 8 million people in the entire city of New York and its law-abiding citizen, you only found one race hustler scumbag, Al Sharpton, that you sat at a table to discuss race relations and cops. So if you sleep with dogs, you wake up with flies, and Mr. Mayor, you have been a fool and a fraud the minute you stepped in. You were honeymooning in Cuba, JetBlue can take you back there now. I will raise the funds to pay for the flight. But get it straight, Mr. Mayor, you have ruined the city. You lost the Democratic National Convention not because of Donald Trump and not because of Fred Garner. You lost it because the Democrat smart people who are involved in setting the agenda saw that this is a bigger crime area and a bigger problem than Philadelphia. I'm not saying that Philadelphia doesn't have its own problem, but New York still came in second.
So what is the answer?
The answer is, there's 2 ways of doing this. First of all, the people have to take back the streets. Not with the cops or with community liaisons. The people have to take back the streets and start responding. Literally start responding. If you see a crime, not one, and it's not the one sanitation guy that apprehends a mugger in Manhattan that becomes a hero, or a fireman. It's everybody on every street. If you hear somebody yelling for help, everybody run. This is not like the girl that was killed in the subway some 40 years ago, when there was nobody. She was raped and murdered. Nobody responded. Everybody should. And if the cops show up, you take him in. And if the mugger puts up a struggle, manhandle him, make sure he stays down. I don't know if it's a difference between a chokehold and a headlock, and well, these are all nonsense for the civil rights stupidity and the liberal schmucks. If the guy commits a crime, I will have to do my best to make sure that the guy is apprehended and brought to justice. If there is cooperation from the cops, that's fine and dandy. If not, if God forbid a family member of mine is viciously attacked by a mugger, I will give NYPD limited time to apprehend them. Then I will send out my own message as the Italian father of a girl on 86th Street and 18th Avenue years ago said, give yourself up, because if not, if I get you, you won't see a judge, you'll see a morgue. And if you still believe, or if you're so stupid to think that this mayor cares about the working class people and the law-abiding people, and he's going to be the one protecting you, I got a bridge to sell. I really have a bridge to sell, because it ain't going to happen. As I mentioned before about all these organizations or community outreaches that they have, clergy liaison, police liaisons, police and community councils. Years ago there was something called CPA. It was called Community Police on Patrol. My kids and myself used to call it a lollipop. Mr. Mayor, Commissioner Bratton, what happened to CPA? Obviously that didn't work either. So let me tell you a great line of a commissioner of Housing Preservation and Development, may rest in peace, Tony Glider, said to me one day, the minute a committee is set by any city agency, the committee is going to get the blame because that's what the agency wanted. So don't sell us committees or police that are going to act as community. The police have to be there to protect people's lives and property, and again be a deterrent to crime. Fear the police officer as well as respect him. Now the police officer has one thing to do. Make sure that he's not a target and come home every night to his loved ones. And that's a miracle for them every single day. The mayor, on the other hand, drives around with armed guards 24/7. He and his family doesn't fear nothing. We are not so lucky.
Why do you think Bratton wants this job? What do you think makes him tick?
I personally think Bratton regrets the day he took this job, if he's smart enough. He wasn't smart enough when he actually spoke out and took lead in the Giuliani time when he was commissioner, for the reason because every idea that was given by many, by Maple and other chiefs in the department of how to attack crime in acute areas, he personally took credit, ran to the media on his own, without even discussing it with City Hall. And if you're a lone wolf, thinking that you can take everything, and then there's running with Christine Lagano, that was just about it. It had to cause him to leave. But now when he says the crime rate in June was the lowest since 1994, I said, oh my God, I got to do some search. Well, obviously, guess who was commissioner in 1994? Bill Bratton. So Bill says the lowest June since he was. But no credit to Carrick, no credit to Kelly, no credit to Kelly again, or to the administrations that served behind him. And here's de Blasio. He was given it on a silver platter on a paved road. All he had to do was continue the way Bloomberg continued the Giuliani crime attack. De Blasio was smarter, much smarter, because he's a liberal schmuck. So he figured, I'll take on the cops. And there's a problem because of Fred Garner. There is a problem. 8 million people, not a problem. Fred Garner and Al Sharpton. That's his answer.